grief. It's a word we hear often, but how often do you truly understand what it means? Grief is not just a sadness, it's not crying at a funeral or missing someone when they're gone. Grief is a deep, complex emotion that lives in the body, the mind, and the soul. It's a reaction to loss, but it is so much more than just a feeling of sorrow. Grief can manifest in ways that we don't always expect. It can show up as anger, confusion, guilt, even numbness in our body. It can feel like a physical ache that you're carrying, like the weight in your chest, that won't just go away. It can make you question everything, like who you are, why that happened, what the future holds. And grief isn't always something you get over. It's not a linear process with a beginning, middle, and the end. It's it's kind of like it flows, and the wounds sometimes feel like they're healing, and then only to break open again with a single memory, a song, or a scent. What many people don't realize is that grief isn't just always about death. We grieve in so many different ways. Uh, Maybe end of a relationship, the loss of a job, the shattering of a dream, the future that we couldn't have, and a version of ourselves that we lost. And sometimes you don't even realize that what you're feeling is actually grief. Sometimes it comes as anger, sometimes anxiety, a stress, feeling of that disconnect with people. It can make you feel lost, ungrounded. You're wandering in a fog, but with no end in sight. Do you know grief can actually change our mind? So there is a study that was conducted, and the study shows that it can alter our brain, it can affect our cognition, it can even affect our immune system. Grief isn't just an emotion, it's a full-on body experience. It touches every part of you, your brain, your mind, your very essence. It's not that time will heal, it's the process that grief and how we express it, how we allow ourselves to feel without judgment, without fear. So if you're grieving right now, know that it is okay to feel how you're feeling. Grief is a shared human experience. We all go through it in one way or another, but it is uniquely yours. And there's no right or wrong way to grieve. So what we can do is we can share our stories. Tell people how you deal with grief and live alongside grief, and how do you cope. In my coming video, I will talk about how grief affects each age range and what you can do with those people who are grieving in your life or yourself, and just realize this is what I'm going through and this is a normal experience. Just know we're all in this together. Let's talk about it and let's learn from one another.